else? Ladies? Would you girls like to read the translation? Slowly, emotionally. Go back to the beginning. All the way back to the beginning. Go all the way back to the beginning. Just click on one. All the way back to the beginning. There we go. Slowly, emotionally.
More sweet than all other sweet things, more auspicious than all their auspicious things, the greatest purifier of all purifying things, the holy name of Sri Hari alone is everything.
Take turns. Slowly.
The entire universe, from exalted Brahma down to the lowly clump of grass, is a product of the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. The only thing that is reality, again, I say reality, the holy name of Sri Hari alone is everything.
That person is a true preceptor, or a true father, a true mother, and a true friend also. Only if they teach one to always remember the holy name of Sri Hari alone is everything.
There is no certainty when the last breath will come and put an abrupt halt to all one's material plans. Therefore, it is wise to always practice chanting from very childhood. The holy name of Sri Hari alone is everything.
Lord Hari eternally dwells in that place where truly exalted spiritually advanced souls sing in the mood of pure devotion. The holy name of Lord Sri Hari alone is everything.
Oh, what a sorrow, what a great sorrow, more painful than any other misery in the world. Mistaking it as a mere piece of glass, the people have forgotten this rule. The holy name of Sri Hari alone is everything.
It should be heard again and again with one's ears. It should be uttered over and over with one's voice. It should be perpetually sung and sung anew. The holy name of Lord Sri Hari alone is everything.
It makes the entire universe seem insignificant as a blade of grass. It splendorously reigns supreme over all. It is full of eternally conscious divine ecstasy. It is supremely pure. The holy name of Sri Hari alone is everything.
Some of the devotees here have heard this many, many times, and some of the devotees here are probably a little newer, and some of are maybe even hearing this for the first time. So I'll give a little background. Go to the very first slide.
Share notice?
Okay, fantastic. Look at this. The very first slide is the title, Shri Kevalastakam. That's not what the title, this is the title. Shri Kevalastakam. And Ashtaka means 8, and Kevala means absolutely, like Kevala Advaita or Kevala Bhakti or Kevala absolute mercy of the holy name. Now there was an article written in 1895, that's a few years ago, by Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Sajjana Toshini. Sajjana Toshini was one of his regular publications. In addition to writing books, he wrote periodicals. And the title of one of those periodicals was Sajjana Toshini. In 1895, he wrote an article in Sajjana Toshini describing this. And he describes the author was prior to him chronologically, and he found a pamphlet or a booklet with 100 or shatakam, and he selected these 8 from the 100. So it's Bhaktivinoda Thakur's 8 out of 100. And the author was one of many, according to Bhakti Vinod Thakur's son, Bhakti Siddhanta. There were many persons during Bhakti Vinod Thakur's time and prior to Bhakti Vinod Thakur's time. They were Vaishnavas, but not so strict in their behavior, not so strict in their teachings. And it's one of those things. Bhakti Siddhanta was very strict. Bhakti Vinod Thakur was very liberal. And this was, son and father not always agreeing on whether to be strict or whether to be liberal. Bhakti Vinod Thakur was very liberal. He selected nectar from wherever there was nectar. And because he was in disciplic succession and very pure, he made pure that which wasn't necessarily very pure and honored because there were elements of purity in it. In any case, the author of this Ashtakam wrote many, many books, and particular glorification of the chanting of the holy name, which means he was a follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Again, not all followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were aligned with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were sahajas a little bit, the deviated personalities to some extent. But this particular author was very aligned with Lord Chaitanya's teachings, and Bhakti Siddhanta had read many of his writings and endorsed his writings. So it's in these 8 verses, there's glorifications. There's a refrain, Harer Nama, the holy name, chanting of the holy name, Eva Kevalam is everything. Kevalam, that's the Eva, certainly, everything. The holy name of the Lord is everything. So what we're going to be doing for the next 20 minutes or so, I'll discuss one of the 8, he'll discuss one of the 8, and maybe we'll circle back around and discuss a little bit more and see if there's some discussion from the audience. Madhu means sweet, like a bee, like honey. So madhu literally means honey, madhu. And honey is very sweet. So madhuram madhare bop, more sweet than any other sweet thing. As maybe some of you know, because we spent some time together today with those that were with our Japa retreat. A couple weeks ago, I was in Houston with Shyamasundar and some other devotees, and I taught a whole 13-part seminar on Madhu. But Madhurya Kadambini is a nice book, and just to amplify the importance of Madhu, some of you know, their Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave Shikshastaka, another Ashtaka. And the first one, do you know the first one? No? Chaitadarpanamarjanam Bhavamahadavagni Nirvapanam. So the downpour, to put out a forest fire, we discussed this on Friday evening, to put out a forest fire. There was just a big forest fire in California. And they have ways of trying to put out a forest fire, but it just burned itself out because you can't put out a forest fire. You can check it to some extent, but there's one thing. that can put out a forest fire. And that's an intense downpour of rain. Of course, Krishna can just swallow fire and there goes the forest fire. But if you're not Krishna, then you depend on a downpour of torrential rain, and that can put out the forest fire. Similarly, there's a fire of material existence, and the fire of material existence can be extinguished by a downpour of rain, but even better than rain is a downpour of madhu. It's a nice metaphor. Madhu is, as you have just suppose you have a jar of honey. It's viscous. You can't. It's not like water. You turn it, and you start to pour it. I mean, during this week, we're going to have some deity installation, and we're going to, pour honey, and the honey doesn't pour so well. You try. It moves very slowly, but it's very thick and very sweet. So there's a downpour for material existence, the downpour of madhu. Madhu, kadambani means a rain cloud, but instead of raining rain, it rains madhu, honey. So bhakti is a downpour of madhu from a cloud bank or a big monsoon cloud pouring honey on the seed or creeper of bhakti. So there may be many sweet things. This is how this stanza begins. Madhura madhurebhyo pi, more sweet than any other sweet thing. And mangala. Mangala means auspicious. Mangala means auspicious, just like we have Mangala Arati. And when we have Mangala Arati, generally in most temples, I'm sure in this temple is one of those temples, we offer some sweets to the deity. So there's very coveted is getting one of the Mangala Arati sweets. And being at Mangala Arati helps you to get the Mangala Arati sweets. Of course, you have an in with the pujaris, they may give you some anyways, even if you didn't come to Mangala Arati. But it's auspicious. And of all things that are auspicious, this is the most auspicious of all auspicious things. Just like, if there's here's a nice example. It's a very nice example. Very nice example. When the first demon that Krishna killed, Putana. Putana was a Kechari. Kechari means a witch. You know what witches do, besides on Halloween? You know what witches do? They fly on broomsticks. According to the science of witchcraft, they don't use a broomstick. They use the branch of a tree. And they break off a branch of a tree and zoom, zoom, off they go, flying in the sky, because they're Kecharis. K means air, and chari means to travel. They travel in air. That's what Kecharis do. And Putana was a Kechari. Zoom, zoom, zoom. She was sent. She was one of the very first one of personalities sent by Kamsa to find Krishna, because he was told by the voice in the sky, remember? Durga came and laughed at him. Ha ha ha, Kamsa, you're such a fool. The 8th child of Devaki is already born and will kill you. Ha ha. And she disappeared. So now he knew the 8th child of Devaki is somewhere else, but he didn't know where somewhere else. So he sent the Kechari, Putana, go find him and kill him. details and details and fast forward, he tried to kill her. But instead, Krishna accepted her service as a mother, as if a mother. It was just pretense. She wasn't motherly at all. But she acted as if mother. So Krishna accepted that service and gave her a position in the spiritual world as mother, assistant to Mother Yashoda. How is merciful is Krishna? And, very important, when Putana fell, she was humongous, 8 miles long. 8 miles, that's big. Think about it. And then when they heard this big crash and trees knocked over, and they went outside their homes and they saw this giant creature. And on top of the giant creature was little Krishna, 3 months old. So bravely they went up on the body of Putana and rescued Krishna, and they wanted to take away the signs of inauspiciousness. So they wanted to create, they knew how to do it. They're just village ladies. They didn't need to get a brahmana and do some yajna. They knew what to do. Here's what they did. First, they bathed Krishna in cow urine. And after bathing Krishna in cow urine, they applied mantra, just like we do. Om Keshavaya Namaha. So they apply, as a procedure, they chanted mantra touching the vital parts of their body, marma it's called in Ayurveda, and then they touched Krishna's body saying the same name. The Acharya's comment, just see, the name is more powerful than the form of Krishna. We talked about this, not all that detail, but vachaka is equal to, and according to this pastime in our acharyas, even greater than vacha. The name and the object named by the name, they're the same in absolute reality. But the name was to purify the form. More auspicious than the most auspicious. So to counteract the evil forces that did this terrible thing and caused Krishna this difficulty, they applied the holy name. So more auspicious, it creates auspiciousness, but it's more auspicious than anything else you can do. What do you think? If you want, you name it in your life, chant the holy name. Now there are other procedures in Vedic system, karma kanda procedures, where they do yajna and they do mantras, and they're creating auspiciousness to get this or that or the other thing. Through the devatas that are being propitiated by the mantras and the yajna, through the yajna. And that's nice. It's Vedic. But anything that you want, Prabhupada gives this pluto decay. If you go to a river, anything that a well, there's, in India sometimes there's a well for drinking water, a well for washing clothes, a well for cooking, a well for this and a well for that. But you go to a river and it takes care of everything. And the holy name takes care of it. The auspiciousness created by anything auspicious is surpassed by the chanting of the holy name. You want auspiciousness in your life? Chant the holy name. There's some younger generation people here. I see a few. You want to do well in school? Chant the holy name. Yeah, but I got so much homework, I don't have time to chant the holy name. If you want to do well in school, chant the holy name. You can say, it's just a fact. It's just a fact. Or you want to do well in business, or you want to do well, whatever it is you want to do. Chant the holy name. It creates auspiciousness better than anything else. Mangale biopi mangalam, more auspicious than any auspicious thing. Pavanam pavane biopi. How many here have been to Vrindavan? Oh, many. Very good. Those of you that have not been to Vrindavan, may Krishna bless you, and you may one day go to Vrindavan. And if you've already been to Vrindavan, may Krishna bless you, you go many times to Vrindavan. And for sure, one of the places that you'll go to Vrindavan is Krishna Balaram Mandir. Most likely, one of the places that you'll also go to is Govardhan Hill. And please put it on your checklist to also go to Varsana and Nandagram. And what's Nandagram? And what's Varsana? Nandagram is a hill, and on top of the hill is a palace, and the palace was the ancestral home of Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda. It's a palace up on a hill. Who lives in a palace up in the hill? Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. And every day, little Krishna would go with his father, Nanda Maharaj, and they'd go down the hill to a big lake. It's called Pavan Sarovar. Pavan. Because they would take their morning bath in Pavan Sarovar. So Pavan Sarovar. One day, after taking his bath, Nanda Maharaj went back up the hill, and Krishna saw his mother, Yashoda, cooking and packaging things for travel. So if I was Dinabandhu, I would do it the Dinabandhu way. When he tells stories, he tells Krishna's like Lala. And Lala's pulling on Mother Jasoda's sari. Lala, Mata, Mama, Mata. What are you doing? Mama, what are you doing? Mama, what are you doing? Mama, what are you doing? Like children will repeat things sometimes. And she said, he didn't say, don't bother me, leave me alone. She said, I'm making some items and package them very carefully so that your father can make a journey to the place of pilgrimage to take a sacred bath in a place of pilgrimage. Prayag, place of what place of pilgrimage? What place? Prayag. So Krishna was, curious little boy. Some boys are curious, and so the next morning, when the day that his father was supposed to travel to Prayag, when Nanda Maharaj went to the base of Nandagram and was ready to take his bath in Pavan Sarovar, he saw on the other side a majestic looking person. And he looked around and he saw many angelic and majestic looking persons, men and ladies. And he was very curious, what's going on? It was an auspicious day, it was an Ekadasi day. So he went to the other side of Pavan Sarovar is big, it's a big place. He went and introduced himself. This is my home, my name is Nanda Maharaj. May I ask what's your name? My name is Prayag Tirtha. Oh, your name is Prayag Tirtha. What brings you here? In Prayag, every day pilgrims come and deposit their papa, their sin, in the sacred waters. And through the whole year, I come here every year because this is Pavan Sarovar, I can become purified of all the sins that are placed on me, and all these other personalities, they've come from other sacred river places, holy places by those sacred rivers, and they come here for the same reason, to relieve ourselves from the sinful reactions that are deposited in our holy waters. Oh, as they say in India, acha. So Nanda Maharaj went back up the hill and told Mother Yashoda, cancel our travel. because he understood this is Pavan Sarovar for a good reason. It purifies even the places of purification, the places of pilgrimage that can bring purification. And Nanda Maharaj, like Krishna and Yashoda, they would always engage in chanting the holy name. So the chanting of the holy name purifies even the most purifying things. More pure than the most purifying things. The greatest purifier of all purifying things. Harer Nam Eva Kevalam. So we encourage you, as has been happening, let's see if Krishna permits it to continue, but the plan has been every year we have a japa retreat. Some of you are with us, and thank you for being with us. Some of you weren't with us. Please come and join us next year. Madhuram Madhurebhyopi, Mangalebhyopi Mangalam, Pavanam Pavanebhyopi, Harir Nam Eva Kevalam. And there's 100 such verses. And now Shyam Sundar is going to speak on number 7. Number 7. There we go. It's on the screen. Go ahead.
Kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu bhayavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Before I speak anything, I known His Holiness Ramapat Swami Maharaj for 40 years. And I feel so fortunate to get his association, guidance, advice. And there is not a single position that in ISKCON is available that Ramapat Swami Maharaj has not attained that. He was the North American GBC chairman. He is the spiritual master in our movement. He is a perfect, liberated person, we may realize or not, and we should feel so fortunate to be in his association. It says that sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy, lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. So even moment of association, the present, all these members should feel so fortunate to be in his association. Maharaj was also the chairman of the international GBC of the whole ISKCON. He traveled around the world. He cared for each devotee personally. He gave his time. I don't know how Maharaj does it, but if we look at the schedule of Maharaj, he never missed. Even he traveled in different zone, different weather, different situation. But he landed in the temple in the evening. If possible, he will give the evening class. He will give the morning class. Tremendous effort, just for one purpose, to please Srila Prabhupada. So we should be very grateful to His Holiness Ramapat Swami Maharaj. So please join me to welcome Ramapat Swami Maharaj. I will be speaking on verse number 7. Diyatam karno, niyatam niyatam vachaha, giyatam nityam, harer nam eva kevalam. This is a very wonderful verse. In Padma Puran, it says that from all devotional practices, we should always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. And Lord Krishna spoke to Arjuna. He said, for one who remember me without any deviation, constant remembrance of Krishna, I'm easy to obtain Orsanaprata. So this is the verdict. And Narad Muni instructed Srila Vyasadeva as follows. He is the actual seer who worship in the form of the transcendental sound representation, because Krishna is not different than his name. The Supreme Personality Godhead, who has no material form, and same message throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one time meeting with Sri Ramanand Roy, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramanand Roy, what should all the living beings constantly remember? That was the question. And Ramanand Roy replied, the chief object of remembrance is always chanting the holy name of Krishna. So we should know that how important it is to chant the holy name, should become a part of our life. Then Prakashanand Saraswati, a very great learned scholar, requested Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give up chanting and dancing, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu movement is nothing but chanting and dancing. So he said, give up this and study Vedantas and discuss such topics. How Chaitanya Mahaprabhu responded to Prakashanand Saraswati? He says, my Guru Maharaj told me that I am not qualified to study Vedanta. What will I learn? Very difficult subject. He told me that I will realize everything by chanting the holy name. And he gave me this precious jewel. He gave me verse and told me to keep it with me always within my heart. And what was the verse? Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kaloba nasteva, 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 katiranyatha. So love of Godhead is the only true happiness of our soul. And if you have something great, but we do not understand its value, we will waste it. You will not take full advantage of it, and you will take it as something very ordinary. When we understand with faith the power and the glories of Krishna's holy name, then only we take complete shelter of the holy name. Otherwise, our chanting will remain as casual or perhaps rituals, inattentive. So now everyone, I request that we live in a material life, very busy and hectic life. Please relax, close your eyes, and please take deep breathing. Inhale. Everyone should close their eyes. Relax. This is the time with Krishna and His holy names. Remain peaceful. Feel the presence of the holy name in your life. Inhale deeply and then slowly exhale. Continue and show your gratitude toward the holy name, what holy name has come to give us in this material world, to make us free from all kind of suffering and bring, like Maharaj says, all auspiciousness, whatever you are looking in your life. Please continue breathing, close your eyes. This is your time with the holy name and Krishna, in the presence of our wonderful Radha Madhava Hari and His Holiness Ramapat Swami Maharaj, assembled Vaishnavas. This is the moment we should relish and expand those moments in our life. Please keep on taking the deep breathing. Ask yourself that when you inhale, what is the guarantee that we will be able to exhale? Meditate on that point. So many people, they went to the bed, they never woke up in the morning. Govinda Das has sung a beautiful song. In that song he said, our life is like a small drop of water on a lotus leaf. Even small wind can destroy the drop of water. That is compared to our life, very temporary, flickering. But remain steadfast in your resolutions, as our Acharya has exhibited in their life. Follow in the footsteps, have complete faith in the scripture and Krishna and His holy name. Then our life will become very successful. So please continue taking the breathing. Relax yourself. You have found the solution of your life. We should feel that we are so fortunate that we have come in the disciplic succession where greatest Acharya has appeared to give us the essence of our life and deliver our soul from the nations of this material existence once and for all. This is not the first visit to this material world. We have come millions of times, and somehow or other we have failed to achieve the goal. Please meditate. We think that there are many important things to think about, like maintaining job, maintaining family, children's education, their marriage, keep our health, and successful plan for our retirement. But at the end of the day, however, the most important thing will be the extent to which we manage our day to develop attachment to Krishna. Otherwise, we are wasting every moment. Unless and until you make some kind of a resolutions, and I think this is the perfect time that we have a Japa retreat, New Year's is coming, make some resolutions to develop the attachment with Krishna, which will solve all the problems of life. At the end of our lives, everything else will be unimportant. You ask the person, visit the hospital once in a while and see the conditions and hear those patients who is ready to leave this world. They will give you the deep realization of their life, what they are feeling. What will stay? We lose everything. What will stay with us is our attachment to Lord Sri Krishna. And we will see how everything else slip through our fingers. Our health, happiness, wealth, beloved ones, relatives and friends, community, society, nation, they will be all gone. Nobody will be there except you and Krishna. All our limbs will not work, but our mind is still there to absorb if we have practiced throughout our life. So attachment to Krishna will remain with us no matter what position we are in. Now it is important to know how to develop that attachment to Krishna. The final test will come and we will become bankrupt. When we no longer have anything material and neither do we have any spiritual wealth. Consider this fact. It says, like somebody was saying, the 75,000 scorpion bite at the time of death. But the main pain that devotees and every member will feel. I have the unique opportunity to deliver my soul, but somehow or other I didn't act it upon, or I didn't give the priority in my life. And that's the very biggest pain that we will feel at the time of that. So now at least, while you are in the meditation, please promise yourself that I will definitely take some special moments and time of my very busy life, at least to contemplate on this subject. When you go home and before you go to sleep, just contemplate. Now please remember that without attachment to Krishna, our life is useless. So love each devotees, show your love and affections, and that will please Krishna. So we wish you all the best, that Krishna can give you some inspiration to take up this process just by simply chanting the 16 syllable attentively will deliver from all the suffering. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
We have some time if you want to ask some question or have discussion on some point. You can consider if there's something. Oh, look at this.
Guru Maharaj. So, in the morning when you were giving lecture about Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur performing austerities at like, you can't even imagine the level of austerities he performed. But, in one sense, like in our Sampradaya, austerities are like given less importance than serving and serving the devotees, or like using that time to perform devotional service rather than performing austerities for our own selves. So how do we reconcile this with
How do we do what?
reconcile with this, that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur?
The frame, I'd ask you to repeat the question, because you gave a nice background. Now what's the question?
He's saying, how do we reconcile the fact that on one hand, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati's example is of performing so much austerity, on the other hand we have this seva and devotional activities we do day to day.
That's your question.
Yes, like because, in our thing...
Could you turn this off? The whole machine can go off. Yeah, very good.
Yes, my question is that how do we reconcile with Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur performing so many austerities, and not just him, like so many other acharyas?
We can't do that. If you can do that, go right ahead. But most of us can't do what he did.
No, I'm asking that, like, how we can consider that.
Here's a very nice verse. Amongst 18,000 verses in Bhagavatam, one of those very nice verses is a very important verse. It's Stane Statakshutikatam Tanavan Manobir. The indication from Lord Brahma to Krishna is one, just stay in your position. Now, Bhakti Siddhanta, from childhood, and from our childhood, what were we doing in childhood? Frivolous. Or, something. But not what he did. He had, anyway, we can list his qualification. But he was, an exceptionally qualified, gifted person. So that his whole life, Naishtika Brahmachari. So it was a piece of cake for him. It was just natural for him. It was of his nature to do, extraordinary and extreme things. And our nature may not be like that. That's okay. That's okay. It's not that in order to be successful in Krishna Bhakti, you have to be a Naishtika Brahmachari or, forget it. That's not the teaching. So according to your position, sthane stitak, stay in your position, shrutikatam, and engage in the process of hearing. And then the senses become purified, the mind becomes peaceful, and you have the door for perfection is open for you. And gradually, from whatever the position may be, you go through that door, and then there's another door, and then there's another door. You just keep going progressively, step by step. How many people can do what Bhakti Siddhanta did? So don't compare yourself to Bhakti Siddhanta. And so then we follow teachings that says this is recommended for anyone and everyone. Akama sarvakama, another nice verse. Moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So do tivra bhakti. That is to say, if you're a student, study for Krishna. How do you do that? Study for, if your devotion is singular, you'll sort it out. You won't study so I get some grades, so I get some recognition, to get some honor and prestige, and get a good job, and many persons do for reasons like that. But for someone that's aspiring to become a devotee, and they want to follow Krishna's teachings or the teachings of the Bhagavatam, you stay in your position, engage in hearing, and slowly through the process of hearing, purification will come. And purification will come by increments, little by little, by little, by little. I see somebody's hand up in the back. Well, wait a minute, we're going to bring you the microphone so we can hear you better. You're patient, right? How patient are you? Okay, here he comes.
So I think in the Gita or something, it said that God is always with you. I just want to ask, how do you feel that presence?
How do you do what?
How do you feel that presence? Like, how do you know that presence is inside you?
How do you feel the presence?
You just say it, because you heard it.
How do you feel the presence of God within you?
How do you feel the presence of God within you? That's your question.
And I know, like in the Gita or something, it said that God is always within you. How do you feel that?
She's saying in
And I want to hear from him.
She mentioned that she read this within the Gita or another scripture, and then she just rephrased the question of how do you feel the presence of God within you?
Okay. I like your baseball cap. Keeps your head warm, right? You need a warm head here in Phoenix, definitely. Okay. That was a joke. To feel the presence of God within requires purity. And without purity, you won't feel it. There's a very nice teaching I like that Prabhupada gives. There's theoretical and there's practical. Theoretical is, kingdom of God is within you. I learned this as a little boy growing up in a Christian family. The kingdom of God is within you. You've heard that phrase before? Say yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Well, now I have.
Okay, so, and it's true, but it remained theoretical. It remained theoretical. And then I started, little boy, like you, little, and started asking questions. The kingdom of God, and then I heard about heaven, and it's supposed to be a nice place. I asked Mom and Dad, what goes on there? What's it like? What's the travel advertisement? You were supposed to want to go there. What do you do there? What are people that stay there? What do? They didn't have an answer. So I went and asked the priest. He didn't have an answer. He didn't say I don't have an answer. He just didn't have an answer. And so I got really busy doing what most people do when they're growing up in America. I got busy trying to be successful. I'm responding to your question by saying theoretical can become practical, because that's your question. And the practical is devotional service. And the practical of devotional service is Krishna is within your heart. And when Krishna sees, and you show Krishna that you want to know him, he's within your heart, he'll speak to you, or he'll inspire you, or through someone he'll inspire you.
Thank you.
So that someone is the representative of Krishna. Krishna sends is called sadhu. Sadhu Sangha, you've heard that phrase before?
Now I have.
Yes? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. So, good. Krishna, if you just keep asking that question, you will keep asking that question most likely. Then until you get an answer. And Krishna will send you sadhu, his representative. Sadhu is his representative, representing Krishna, and he'll tell you, this is what you can do to feel the presence of Krishna within. That's what happened to me. Look right behind you. Srila Prabhupada came to the university that I was attending. Pay attention. Prabhupada came to the university that I was attending, and my life changed. I mean, he didn't give me the answer to your question. But he gave the answer to your question through the chanting of the holy name. And then little talk. And then, and then his Bhagavad Gita as it is. And so slowly, so how do you feel the presence of God within? Slowly by the process of bhakti. Bhakti is given to you and to me, to any one of us, through sadhu sangha, because sadhus carry bhakti and they want to give it. They don't have to be like, a pure devotee, uttama adhikari personality, just have to be like you. You have bhakti within, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And you're asking the nice question you're asking, there's some bhakti within. So you just grow that bhakti in sadhu sangha, and when you're with sadhus, what do you do when you're with sadhus? You do what sadhus do. What do sadhus do? Bhajana kriya, devotional activity. I invite you, personally, next year we're going to have another japa retreat. You please come and get some sadhu sangha and the chanting of the holy name. Between now and then you can do some other things too, like hearing and chanting in sadhu sangha. But slowly, it's twice, slowly, purification and awakening of what we've forgotten, which is that Krishna is within. And that's how it happens. Sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, the removal of unwanted things that are gunking up our heart. And then the heart becomes pure. And then when the heart is pure, then you'll have the answer to your question. You'll have the experience of the answer to your question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice question. Okay, there's a couple of hands over here, over on this side. What's your name? Okay. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the wonderful explanation on Kevalastakam. Is it recommended to chant while listening to lectures or Krishna Katha?
Speak slowly. Young people speak fast, and older people can't hear so well. Be kind to me. Speak slowly and clearly.
Is it recommended to chant while hearing lectures or Krishna Katha?
While doing what?
Hearing lectures.
Hearing lectures. Chant while hearing lectures.
Yeah.
If you're a pure devotee, you can do it. But for most, the rest of us, we do one thing at a time with focus, attention. So when you're hearing lectures, you're hearing lectures. When chanting, you're chanting. But it's fashionable to multi-process. You're good if you can do multiple things at the same time. You get patted on the back. And if you're doing bhakti, you do one thing at a time. It's called mode of goodness, is one thing at a time, with focus. And mode of passion is multi-processing. Come to the mode of goodness, please.
I'll try.
Okay. No, that's just, you're just a product of modern education and modern life. Go ahead. Next question.
Maharaj, so my question is, how do we find our swadharma?
How do you do what?
How do we find our swadharma in today's world? Like for Arjuna, when he was confused.
Piece of cake. It was from the time he was born, it was Swadharma was fixed.
How do we identify that?
What do you do? Let me take your question and send it back to you.
So I work as a software engineer, but then I don't find any content in doing that. So when Arjuna surrendered himself to Krishna, Krishna told him, do your dharma, like it's a duty.
Yeah.
I have surrendered to Krishna, but then my question is, I'm not able to figure out what the swadharma is.
Nice question. Thank you. First, let me just make a Srila Prabhupada comment. You've been trained to be a Sudra. It's not me to you, it's Prabhupada from Bhagavad Gita. Because all living entities, I was just listening to Prabhupada's lecturing on chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita, and explaining over and over and over and over to the Western audience, Kala Sudra Sambhavan, in this age of Kali, everyone is born Sudra. And they don't have to stay Sudra, but beyond Sudra, one becomes a follower of Varnashram. And because otherwise everyone remains Sudra, and then purification. So similar, my response to your question is similar to my response to her nice question. Purification, for the time being, stane stita. It's not your nature, it's not your swadharma, but you've been trained up as, but you've been trained up as a Sudra. Not knowing who you are, that's a Sudra. Or it's even worse, it's an animal. If you don't know who you are and just do stuff because somebody said do stuff, so you do stuff. And you learn how to do this stuff, so you do that stuff. So, the awareness of what your Swadharma is starts with asking the question, like she asked, who am I? Don't ask the question, you'll never know. But you ask the question and you'll get teachings and teachers that will help you. So it's not just a matter of someone hitting you on the head with a magic wand and saying, this is your Swadharma. Boom. Oh, I feel better now. So I do my duty for Krishna. The doing your duty for Krishna part is preliminary to something that's higher. So do that again, please. Yes, okay, sure. Doing your duty for Krishna is preliminary because it's like the stairway instead of the elevator. So you go up the stairway, and stairway, and stairway. So it's very important to know. However, the elevator says, just hit the elevator button, top floor, whoop. You walk out of here, we're in the top floor. And what's my Swadharma, please? Whatever, yat karoshi, yat asnasi, yat jahosi, dadasi, yat tapasi, whatever you do that for Krishna. That's your Swadharma, that's the Paradharma. The Swadharma is to help you get to Paradharma. And do Paradharma, and you'll understand much more about what your nature is than the magic wand method. And you go to an astrologer, and astrologer maybe can tell you da 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 da. But that's not really what your Swadharma is. It's a good try, but it's not really what your Swadharma is. It depends on who the astrologer is, but you go to Paradharma, and then you start to understand all kinds of things about who you are eternally, and then the gross and subtle coverings. You'll understand better. Because there'll be your nature, which indicates Swadharma. For example, in the Bhagavad Gita you'll find Krishna gives the lakshana or characteristics of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So by doing Paradharma, you'll start, clearing will go on, the contamination of coverings will be diminished, and who you really are will start to emerge. And then you'll also be able to understand the coverings better, which is not who you are. But you'll understand it better because the light's on instead of the light's off. And then you'll understand better, according to Bhagavad Gita, what's your nature. And what are the four varnas. And now it's a hodgepodge. It's, one more time, it's Shudra. We may have some truthfulness, we have some cleanliness, we may have some this and that, some compassion and some other nice characteristics, non-violence and other nice characteristics that are symptomatic of the mode of goodness. And then some other ones that are in the mode of passion and some others that are in the mode of ignorance. So we're kind of like mixed up. Swadharma. Kali Yuga Swadharma.
So we dedicate everything to Krishna.
Yes.
Because the only moment we can control is now. So we dedicate today's the moment now.
Engage in the process, direct. This is the gift that Srila Prabhupada gave. He gave the gift of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is this gift. Shravanam Kirtanam, engage in hearing and chanting and focus on hearing and chanting. Coverings outside and inside can be quickly removed, powerfully removed. And then with that coverings removed, you'll have better intelligence to understand what's matter and what's spirit. What's my position in matter, and what's my position in matter as a spirit soul. So, but now it's covered. So supposing someone could hit you with a magic wand and say, this is your Swadharma. That's the staircase, if you knew. And how to apply what you knew, good luck, because we're not so intelligent, unfortunately. So do the Paradharma, Bhagavad Dharma, and all these other little things become more clear in the course of time. You're on the top floor too, instead of the staircase. Is it clear?
Thank you.
Okay. I see a hand up front, but they're going to end with this last question because of time. Because we have to serve the Sunday feast, right?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, my question is, many of the devotees I have seen, they are practicing Krishna consciousness like 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
But in last, they are fall down. So what is the reason of the fall down?
What's the reason of fall down? You know the answer. Submission slackens. What keeps us going up? Submission unto Guru and Krishna and sadhus. Submission slackens. You fall down. Or offense. Those are two main reasons. So don't make offense and don't submit. Don't become complacent. Submission slackens can't just mean la-di-la. Just take it easy. Don't try too hard. Just coast along and chant and be happy. But in that complacency, that's submission slackening, because that's not how we started in the first number of years. We started with some enthusiasm. Then it's a nice teaching. You know who is Bharat Maharaj? I'm looking. You know who is Bharat Maharaj? From Bhagavatam, 5th canto? The son of Rishabdev, Bharat Maharaj. Bells ringing or no? No bells.
Yes.
Oh, you say Bharat, then you know. Oh. Okay. He attained Bhava Bhakti and he fell. Question, is it possible? Answer, according to our acharyas, he made an offense. There's a particular phrase in a particular verse in the whole story of Bharat Maharaj that due to material circumstance, it's not prarabdha karma, because bhakti eliminates prarabdha karma. Therefore, the inductive reasoning of Jiva Goswami is, it's because he made an offense somewhere back there. And it took a while for the offense to fructify. The offense fructified to the form of a deer. The offense fructified to the form of a deer for him to become attached to. And he not only became attached to the deer, but he slackened, he stopped his spiritual practices. That was his fall down. The offense. But he didn't lose his Krishna consciousness even when he became a deer. And then his next life, Jadbara. So he was protected because of his bhakti. But he had to suffer because of an offense. So the conclusion, this is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's conclusion, it was an apparent fall down only. Now back to your question. How does it one can fall down? Offense and slackening and submission. There's other examples. I think we'd like to end, so we're going to do some... Who's our MC? Are you ready? Okay, give her the microphone.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.